I'm going to give you a few seconds to try and figure out who I am talking about. And of course, I'm referencing the title. It can't be Rusev. He's never on TV. And on that note, it can't be Naomi, Buddy Murphy, Shinsuke Nakamura. Hey, it can't even be Finn Balor, because he doesn't turn up to television every week either, even though he's the Intercontinental Champion. Why would we care about him, even though that he's got a spangly title around his waist? It's not Repo Man, because WWE still hasn't seen sense and asked him to come back, which leaves us with only one guy. And it's a guy that gets multiple segments on Raw and he gets multiple segments on SmackDown, even though most of the time, said segments are exactly the same as one another. I am talking, obviously, about Shane McMahon, and right now, I just think he needs to vanish for a little while. Why? Here's why. The obvious answer is everything we've just mentioned, but there's also loads more than that. But let's start at the top level of all of this. Like I said, over the last few months, from nowhere, Shane McMahon is all of a sudden all over Raw and he's all over SmackDown, and I can't for the life of me understand what happened. I mean, who is making this decision? You have to assume that it is Vince McMahon, but if Vince McMahon is the statistician that we're led to believe, why isn't he looking at the ratings and going, oh, wait a minute, I don't think this is working, even though you are my son, Shane, blood of my loins, or whatever the hell that phrase is. I don't think we should be putting you on TV as much as we're currently putting you on TV. I mean, if nothing else, it is not helping the needle. The ratings needle is like here, and ever since we doubled up with Shane McMahon, it's not like it's gone phew and flown over there, is it? If anything, it's in exactly the same place. And if we do take this week's offering of WWE shows, we had Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre on Raw celebrating their win over Roman Reigns. It happened at Super Showdown. They drank out of a big cup. And then on SmackDown, we had exactly the same thing, only this time The Miz had been roped in and he had to shout about Shane McMahon's praises instead. And the idea of that, seemingly, was to just get another win for Shane McMahon over the A-lister. And my question is this, it's nice and simple. Who on earth did that help? Roman wasn't even on TV this week, which makes it even more confusing because you could have taken all of this and put it on either Raw or SmackDown, and nobody would have been, they wouldn't have cared. You would have got the same message either way. It's the classic law of diminishing returns, and it's baffling that WWE can't see that. It would happen with anybody on your roster, even the good guys. So to allow a heel, a bad guy, to take up this much television time and again do the same thing over and over isn't going to be of benefit. And that just falls down completely when it's at the detriment to the rest of the roster. Again, Rusev, Nakamura, Mojo Rawley, Finn Balor, Naomi. There's no point me going through them all again. We'll be here for the end of time. Even someone like the B team. We need to rehab the tag team division, but Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, I don't even know where they are. It's also taken this best in the world shtick and ran it into the ground. And the fact that Shane has now smashed Miz on 3 different occasions, well, I don't even know. You tell me. The only thing I can take away from this is that WWE decided they wanted to make Shane McMahon their top heel, and they would do so at everybody else's expense. In fact, I'm ringing Vince McMahon. That's right, I got a line to Vince McMahon. You know, how else, everyone says it, well, Mello, you give too many ups and downs. You clearly know Vince McMahon, and I do, and I'm gonna ring him. I'm gonna ring him right now. All right, Vince, it's me, it's Simon. Yeah, just give me a call. No, nothing to do with golden ups or brown downs. I'll talk about that on Sunday, as we always do. I know how it works, you send me the script, so on and so forth. But look, honestly, why is your son all over WWE TV right now? I can't work it out. No, not Triple H, your other son. Shane. Yes, Shane. Why is Shane all over the TV? What do you mean you're eating a steak wrap when you can't talk? It has had a knock-on effect too. I don't think that Drew McIntyre has particularly benefited from being Shane McMahon's lackey. And then there's Elias, which is just like a maths problem. Because sometimes he is with Shane McMahon, but then sometimes he's not. Like at Super Showdown, where you think that McMahon would want all his buddies around him, he was goofing off in that Battle Royal. He comes and goes more than Mojo Rawley, and all of it just hurts my brain. I mean, why would Drew McIntyre, in the world of kayfabe, why would Drew McIntyre's character even agree to do this? He never came across like a suck-up. He came across like a guy that just wanted to lay waste to anyone, whether you're good, bad, evil, happy, sad. Drew McIntyre doesn't care. He just wanted to claim or kick you right in the face. You also have the terrifying situation that if the Scottish psychopath does lose to Roman Reigns at Stomping Grounds, don't forget, he already lost to him at WrestleMania 35, Well, it's right there on paper. Shane McMahon was able to beat the big dog, but Drew McIntyre, who at one point was meant to be a future world champion, failed. And that still sucks, even if it's because of, Shane McMahon tried to interfere, he screwed up, and Roman got the win that way. Because it didn't happen with Shane McMahon, did it? Drew McIntyre was getting interfering then. Getting interfering, that's not even a sentence, but he was, and McMahon still left with his hand raised. So really, we desperately need Drew McIntyre to win at that pay-per-view. Mostly, I just want a reason for it. That's it. Nobody else in the entire company is allowed to have so many segments on both Raw and SmackDown, and I'm not accepting the argument, it's because of the boss's son. That's cool, that's fine. If you're the boss's son and there's a place for you, and I like Shane McMahon, don't get me wrong, I do, but that is all good. But not like this. This doesn't make any sense. It also went from 0 to 100 so quickly. Even when he first turned heel, it was like, okay, this is quite enjoyable. Bit of a different tact for Shane O'Mac. And then like post-WrestleMania, it's just like boom, 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 boom. And I'm not seeing one fan, not one, who says, I'm glad this is happening. It's making my television more entertaining. And also, let's not forget that nobody had as much goodwill as Shane McMahon did since he returned in 2016. Till really, he turned heel at Fastlane. We all enjoyed the guy. We all loved him, and fair play. There's plenty of evidence out there, as that pop 3 years ago does attest to, but me, right now, as a WWE fan, is standing here and saying that it's all too much, and we need to back it off. And Shane McMahon needs to go away for a while, so that when he does come back, we can start enjoying him again. And it was always going to be this way when you do have skits that mirror each other. I don't want to see the same thing on SmackDown that I saw on Raw, because that's going back to the days where SmackDown felt like a massive B show. And obviously the knock-on effect of all of this is that I don't get Rusev on television. And really deep down, all I want in 2019 is Rusev on my television. I want him to knock on my door, and I want him to be my friend. Just the postman. Shane is also being used far too carelessly when he's not physically on screen. Any kind of plot hole is now wrapped up with the very lazy excuse, Shane McMahon did it. And this is coming from the guy that in December 2018 was very vocal on a microphone saying that we're not going to do this all-powerful general manager stuff anymore. Not only are we doing it, there was never a reason as to why S. McMahon shifted into that role to begin with. He just did. At one point, he was meant to be exclusive to SmackDown. Then Stephanie vanished, and Shane went, I guess I'll just go do that. What is the end goal of all of this too? Let's say Roman beats Shane. Does that help Roman Reigns? No. Let's say that Shane beats Roman again. Does that help Shane? No. So again, we're just walking in the dark. We're walking through a forest, and we don't know where the end is. I don't have an answer other than the fact that he's overexposed, and we need to balance that out as quickly as we can. It just happened so fast. At one point, he was in quite a fun tag team with The Miz, and they were winning world championships, and now he's absolutely kicking Roman Reigns' ass at Super Showdown and celebrating like he won the Stanley Cup. He's going to become WWE champion. Now, I bet Shane McMahon beats Kofi Kingston for that title, and then we've got to go get the pitchforks and the fire and the flags, and we've got to go walk on Stamford, Connecticut, and finally riot. The riot will come. Obviously, it's a joke. Don't do that. That'd be the worst thing ever. Instead, we can just go on Twitter and moan. #riot. WWE also just needs to look out of its big window and realize what is happening. This is always going to go down when you use somebody like this. Unless somebody is 100% over with the audience, you're going to piss them off. It happened with John Cena, right? John Cena had a huge fan base, but there was enough individuals who didn't want to see it, so they started making their voices heard. You need an Austin or you need a Rock to kind of pull this thing off. And right now, we ain't got no Stone Cold Steve Austins, and we definitely got no Rocks. You know the quote, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that is doubly true this time, because Shane McMahon actually did become a villain, but now that's going the other way around too. In fact, I would say that as of right now, Shane is a full-on demon. And please, if I'm wrong, if you're listening to me going, Simon, you asshole, you bald-headed idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, there's a comment section right there. Please let me know what you are getting out of this Shane McMahon run. I've also started to dread the whole best in the world thing now. It keeps me up at night. It gives me nightmares. And if we can't change this, WWE, can you at least take what you're doing with Shane McMahon and copy and paste that for all of the stories? This Shane McMahon thing has been going on now for 3 months, and not even world title feuds get that long. So again, if you're going to keep doing it, I'll accept it as long as it starts happening for everybody, and we can have long-term storylines and long-term narratives that I can invest and I can buy into and have payoffs. Even if the payoff sucks. Right now, I will take a crappy payoff instead of turn on Raw. that whole thing that I enjoyed last week has just vanished because I guess we forgot about it. The real thing we should have talked about is that we're never going to get away from this all-powerful general manager, are we? That is going to define and structure Raw and SmackDown until the end of time. We'll all be on our deathbeds and we'll turn it on, and there will probably still be Vince McMahon with a long grey beard going like, I don't know, Terry Wall, that's the new star. Terry Wall, I'll never let you win the World Championship. Then I'll turn it off. Then I'll slowly, quietly, fall away into death. And my last thought will be, I can't believe the general manager role, which started in 1997, is still going on. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this, including, do you like Shane McMahon or do you not like Shane McMahon? Not as a person, but right now, his character. Like, share and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE, and go and watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. My name is Simon from WhatCulture, and just to put it all to bed, look, when Shane McMahon did come back in February 2016 or whenever it was awesome. It was one of the best moments of modern times as the crowd reacted with true shock, true surprise, and true satisfaction. So it's not even about Shane, it's about how you use your characters. Everybody has a shelf life, everybody can only be used to a certain amount, so just draw it back a bit and calm it down. And really, yeah, he shouldn't have beaten Roman Reigns at Super Showdown. Nobody beats Roman Reigns, and yet somehow Shane McMahon beat Roman Reigns. And again, he took 95% of that match. And he tapped out The Miz with that triangle choke. I tell you what's going to happen. Drew McIntyre and him are going to fall out, and Shane McMahon's going to beat him too. Then he's going to beat Elias, then he's going to beat Kofi Kingston. Then I may have to stop watching. I won't, I'll watch anyway. Which is really the problem, but hey, I'll be the problem. Yeah.